Baraka the Yahweh, Baraka the Yahushai. All praises, glory, and honor goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great mills on the rule well. Shalom, wa barakim, lahabakarim, peace and blessings to the elect. Lord willing, it's an edifying video, and yesterday or the day before, I saw on social media, it was a Edomite. He was just pretty much saying that they see a flying object the size of I believe they said Texas, very large, fastly approaching Earth. I can neither confirm or deny if this Edomite is speaking the truth. We know that Edomites are liars. Nonetheless, according to prophecy and according to the Holy Scriptures, things like this are going to take place. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this. This is Jeremiah 10:1. Actually, I'll read one. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Again, Israel is the Israelites. The descendants today are known as the so-called African Americans, the so-called Native Americans, and the so-called indigenous Indians, Latinos, right? These are what they're called today, but according to the Holy Scriptures, the true identity of these individuals are the Israelites. The Israelites are the chosen people of the Heavenly Father, and this word, this message is unto us or unto them. All right, it says, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Okay, and a lot of our people are in violation of this. A lot of our people are actively learning the ways of the heathens and actively doing the ways of the heathen. All right, the Lord told us not to do that because we have our own ways, we have our own customs, and these ways are the law of the Lord, and they are above all the ways of the other people. Okay, the ways of the Lord, which the Lord has given unto us as his people, are the ways of life. Okay, and the keys to life. All right, it says, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So, and that's the main point that I was focusing on. The Lord told us not to be dismayed at the signs of heaven. All right, for the heathen are dismayed. We understand that the different signs that we see in heaven, the blood moons, the different stars, and the the different things that are taking place in the heavens, also what they call UFOs or UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. Those things that is taking place in the heavens are for our good, and it's not for us to be fearful of it. Okay, let's go ahead and get this real quick in Psalms. All right, this is Psalms 103. And verse Salakia 104 and verse 3, it says, who lived the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Okay, so the clouds represent the chariots when you see that in the scriptures. And when you look in the clouds, sometimes they look like chariots because the Lord's chariots are in the heavens. All right, and those are the vehicle in which the angels, travel. Okay, and we understand that the Lord is going to come with his chariots when he comes to deliver us with his angels. All right, now let's go ahead and get this as well. I was also thinking about this. This is Zechariah, because the heathen should be afraid when they see these things, but we're supposed to rejoice when we see these things because it's for our benefit. Okay, this is Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. Okay, this is a chariot, what people will call like a flying saucer or a UFO. Okay, it says, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answer, I see a flying roll. The length of thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Okay, going into the chariots. It says, then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that still shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that swears shall be cut off as on that side according to it. But the point I wanted to harp on was the fact that this is the curse that covereth the whole earth. Because like I alluded to prior, and I'm going to actually get that verse, okay, those chariots are going to come and bring destruction to the planet Earth. Those chariots are actually going to destroy the world in which we live in right now, the rulership, how things function and take place. Those chariots are going to be the instrument in which the Lord uses to stop this. All right. And That sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually a very good thing for us hopeful elect and sincere believers. All right, because simultaneously as those chariots are committing destruction on the earth, they're actually going to be beaming up the elect. The world calls that a rapture. They're actually going to be taking up the elect into those chariots and protecting us from that destruction that those chariots are going to be bringing. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 66 and 15. It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and his chariots like a whirlwind." So those chariots, those flying objects that are approaching the earth, they're going to be coming with fire. Right? And it says to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. All right. And those chariots are going to be judging the world for the wickedness that they are committing. All right. It says, "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many." So those chariots are going to slay many. All right. Now let's go ahead and get Matthew 24. Matthew 24, and I'll read 29. And you see the title, it says the glorious return. It says, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light." So there's not, all hell is going to break loose on the planet Earth. It's going to be a buildup. Okay. Famine, earthquakes, pestilence, death, destruction. There's going to be plagues in which the Lord is going to use to hit this earth. Okay. And then in that time frame, it's going to be no wisdom. People aren't going to be able to make sense of what's taking place, except for the men of the Lord. All right, because the Lord has been building up these men prior so that they could be worthy to stand and to get through this tribulation that we're reading. All right. But it says immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. It says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven." So Yahushua is going to return, because those chariots, it's not going to just be angels. Okay, Yahushua is going to be with those angels as well. All right, he's going to be in a fathership. He's going to be in front, and everyone's going to see him. All right, and he's going to be leading the charge. All right, it says, "And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn." All right, so why are all the races of people going to be mourning? The different ethnicities of people going to be mourning when Yahushua comes back? Because like we read in Isaiah 66, he's going to be killing everyone. Everyone is going to die except for the elect, whom he's going to have mercy upon. All right, so everyone's going to be crying. They're going to be in tears. Their whole world, their whole identity, everything that they work towards and believe is going to shatter in that day. It says, "And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds." Again, we established what the clouds were in Psalms 104. All right, those are the chariots. Okay, it says, "They shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other." All right, so I just wanted to get this, all right, because these heathen, they're being dismayed, that they're seeing the chariots, they're seeing different chariot sightings, and they're getting anxious. All right, but us as believers, we understand exactly what that is. That's the destruction of this world, and it's a salvation for us. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone rule well. Shalom, wa barakim, la bakar, peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.